Yeah. All rise, open your eyes, no need to explain. I got a homie from the east and I'ma tell you his name. Never hang around lames, that's a part of his game. And if you show deep respect, he'll show you the same. Jeff undercard boxing, shook the world when he came. A lot of cats is playing, but his hands are insane. You can get steamrolled if you stand in the way. He a yardie from Flatbush, you cowards his cat puss. We used to feud like Bishop and Q, but he'll fuck you up quick if I give him the cue. From the city of Midwood, the south central part of New York, next to Bensonhurst and Borough Park. If it's a problem, don't even say shit. Just face this when you come across the Bay Bridge. No tolerance for BS or fake kids. Your blood clot crying. Just stop trying. The Jeff Undercard prepared for the assignment. He bringing a appliance so cowards can't fight it. He might yoke you up if he feels slighted. He's spreading out toxins. It's undercard boxing. Yeah. Mad love and respect to my brother, man. From the motherland, word him up.
What's going on, fight fans? It's your guy, Undercard in Boxing. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What a beautiful morning it is. Weather is feeling really nice. Boxing news, information coming out, sounding really good. And I just wanted to spend some time with you guys on this early morning, what you call an early morning cook. All right. There's some fight cards going on today. Of course, the big one is Clarissa Shields versus Cordejo in her hometown of Detroit at the Caesars Palace, Little Caesars Arena, home of the Detroit Pistons. Let me take that down. Can't even see myself. Ooh, there we go. Man, look good. All right. So we're just gonna talk some boxing. A lot of news out there, a lot of updates, a lot of things that we want to pay attention to moving forward. We did get the news of Gervonta Davis. A lot of people were asking a lot of questions. What took place? I'm going to break that down. Not break it down, just update you guys on what was officially said as to why he had to leave house arrest and go into spend the remainder of his sentence in jail. Or, what happened was the court ordered him to stay at Coach Calvin's home for the 90-day duration of his house arrest. I'm not sure if he didn't do that. He was at a hotel and also at a condo, and it says, according to his lawyer, didn't request a change of venue as to where he was going to be staying. So I guess he was staying somewhere, but it wasn't what him and the court had decided. So therefore, they remanded him into custody, and he has to spend the remainder of his 90-day sentence inside jail. It's unfortunate. We hope that he gets out quickly and that he can get back to what he does best, which is boxing. So there's two fight cards today. To go back into incognito. Pop up. Salute to everyone. There is a card today in Germany. This will be on YouTube TV. You have Leon Bunn versus Rossman Ishbahim. This will be at, like I said, 12 p.m. on YouTube. So for all of you members who use the YouTube platform, this is a way to watch some boxing. You have two light heavyweights going at it. You have Jose Lardweight versus Ali Kinden. This is an 8-round heavyweight fight. You have Luca Plentic versus Yusuf Kangla is for the WBC International Silver Super Middleweight title. And something that's not paid attention very much, but when you have the WBC International Silver, it elevates you to fight for the interim title or directly for the next title. I don't know why they do it that way, but the international silver title holds some kind of weight in the WBC, which allows you to move up and fight the interim champion or the full champion. Or I've seen that the people who've had the WBC international silver have been elevated to full champion. So something to pay attention to. You also have Ben Abdoui versus Muhammad Abdullah. This is an 8-round heavyweight fight. So a quick four card fight from Germany. This will be on YouTube at 12 p.m. today. I guess leading us up into Clarissa Shields versus Cordejo a lot later in the day. But some breaking news: we have Jaron Boots Ennis scheduled to fight Roman Villa July 8th in Atlantic City. The news was just broke by YSM Sports Media. Shout out to Jamil. Shout out to the hard work that he's doing over there. And I just realized something too. Andy Cruz is on the July 15th card with Alicia Baumgartner. So in back-to-back weeks, Bozy Ennis, the coach of Jaron and Andy Cruz, is going to be in Atlantic City and then in Detroit. Back-to-back fights. Boxing is in a really good place at the moment. Things are definitely looking up. Fights are being made. We also just got the announcement of Navarrete versus Valdez, August 12th in Glendale, Arizona. According to Mike Coppinger, or Mike Capalot, this was a fight that was supposed to be made directly after Valdez came back from injury, after his loss to Shakur, and Emmanuel Navarrete won the world title. But he suffered an injury and then went ahead and did a tune-up fight with Blue Nose, a fight that he won by UD. I thought the fight was a lot closer than the judges saw it. I thought that Blue Nose was doing the better boxing, and Oscar Valdez was, just trying to get him out with 1 or 2 punches. He did look a shell of himself in the way that he was throwing his punches or the way that he attacked. It felt like he was trying to brawl as opposed to just trying to stay steady and fight. But he got the decision, and everyone knew the fight that was going to be next. We just were waiting for a date and location. So now it's official. Emmanuel Navarrete will defend his WBO junior lightweight title versus Oscar Valdez on August 12th in Glendale, Arizona, which is, this is good. You also have, Jared Anderson going to be fighting. Let me see if it's the same time. June is filled with fight cards, and he's fighting June 1st. So the state of boxing is in a really good place. Fights are being made. People are getting their opportunities not only to headline their own cards, but to be on the undercards of some of these fights. And we're excited for the state of boxing. If you're paying attention, June is filled with all types of fights that you don't necessarily know the outcome. You have this Saturday, Shield versus Cordejo. That's not a gimme fight. She's ranked number 1 in 3 different sanctioning bodies. She got the opportunity to fight for the undisputed title versus Clarissa Shields because Hannah Gabriel's pulled out. Let's see, what other fights? Broner versus Hutchinson. This is Broner's return fight. Skills from New Orleans. Salute, my brother. How are you today? Good morning. Good morning. June 9th, you have Broner versus Hutchinson. That's not a given fight. You also have Guillermo Rigondeaux fighting on this fight card. Like, Don King has done a good job of building this fight card. I think once you get the proper promotion for it, it is a pay-per-view event, $24.99. Salute to you, Skills. Salute. You also have Edwards versus Campos. That's on the Zone. You have Munguia versus Devanchenko, June 10th. You have Josh Taylor versus Tio. You have Mayweather. That's a exhibition fight. You have Aziz versus Fania. One of the guys who's been getting a lot of push as to be the next. You have Prograis versus Zorilla. You have Tim Zhu versus Ocampo. You have Kelly versus Corzo. You have Adams versus Williams. Berlanga versus Quigley. You have Marshalls versus Frenchon Cruz. You have the start of Big Babies Anderson headlining in his hometown of Toledo, Ohio. June 1st, you have Stanionis versus Ortiz. Baumgartner versus Leonard. Hitchison versus Love. And the debut of Andy Cruz on that card. You have Cambosis versus Hughes. I don't know, which one you guys think is a bigger month, June or July? Like, it just seems to me that June's fight cards have that you don't know the outcome necessarily, and you can't call it as to what's going to be taking place, who's going to win. You can't, like, these are not fights where you kind of, the outcome is already. Hola, thank you, Laura. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I just saw that you wrote a message in the thing. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, how are you? Yes, please don't forget that like button. Thank you so much for stopping by this early morning. We're just talking some boxing news, upcoming fights. Please like and subscribe to Undercard and Boxing for all fight updates. So we're going to go over this Clarissa Shields card. There's a non-televised version always, and then there's a televised version. So let's go over the guys who won't be shown on TV. You have Sarah Liebman versus Carissa Brown, 6-round featherweight fight. You have Vernon Webb versus Fernando Rogo, 8-round cruiserweight fight. Can I translate that? Can I translate that? Let me see something. Hi, one moment. Un poquito yo habla español. I need a translator. Where's Jose Diaz when I need him? Call in Jose Diaz. You have Jose Pagan versus Ronald Burnett, 6-round super lightweight fight. Marlon Haggington versus Grit Karim. I gotta figure out how to translate that. Let me see. Joseph Hicks Jr. versus Antonio Todd. Let me see. I'm gonna try to figure this out. That's right, guys. We're global. And thank you for stepping in. Oh. Aqui, no. I'll try to use my Google Translator. That definitely worked for me. All right. So let's get back to the main event fight card. You also have Joseph Delavive Smith versus Cardell Woods. You have Angel Holm versus Wendy Toussaint, 10-round junior welterweight. I believe that Ardell Holmes fought on Showbox a couple fights ago. Pretty good prospect. Upcoming good skill set. And I'm going to listen to Dimitri Salita, because he gave a great breakdown of the fights and who's fighting on the undercard. And I want to give him his respect because he's been one of the most consistent promoters in boxing, doing a lot of the nitty gritty hard work, um, promoting Clarissa Shields, allowing her to become undisputed, allowing her to get some of the biggest fights in women history. We're just going to listen for a moment. This is a quick 5-minute clip of him talking about who's on the undercard.
Well, he grew up in the Kwang boxing gym. He's a tall, big middleweight, and is associated with many of the people that Tommy Hearns was associated with. He has a lot of heart, likes tough fights, has proven himself, has beaten several undefeated fighters in a short career. Unlike Tommy Hearns, he did not have an extensive amateur career. He turned pro fairly early, won the Big Four tournament, which he entered only being one of the WBC Big Four tournament. I've seen him in the gym, spar with a lot of world-rated fighters, champions. He certainly holds his own and better. And it will be great for the city of Detroit to get behind another fighter that from the beginning of his career, that they can support, they can grow. And this venue, Clarissa is opening up big-time boxing to Detroit. It will be not fair, I guess, or misused, so to say, if we did not showcase the next generation and to showcase the next guys that in a year or two will be able to headline in this building.
Obviously, we've got to move on to the main event now. And what was it like
in the sport of boxing? And
so we're listening to the voice of Gold All Day. Absolutely. Woke. Absolutely. So we're just discussing the undercard of the Clarissa Shields fight. Dimitri Salas, one of the best promoters in boxing, are going over who's on the fight card. Some of Detroit's finest are going to be here and telling us a little bit about who's on that fight card.
We've been working on bringing back championship boxing to the city of Detroit for many years, and kind of all the stars lined up. Clarissa coming off the biggest win of her career, looking for the next meaningful thing to do, and the best thing for her to do was to fight right here in our homecoming in the city of Detroit. Very grateful that we were able to put it together, and since this is a brand new venue and a venue that has never did boxing before, it's a lot of great work and a lot of new experiences, but very grateful to this venue, very grateful to the zone. It's going to be a fantastic night of boxing.
Before we talk about the main fight and all of the trials and tribulations with the main event, tell me a little bit what the fans should look out for on the undercard.
So this is a great show. Top to bottom, we want to showcase some of the best fighters from the city of Detroit, from the state of Michigan, in meaningful fights. Sometimes the Midwest gets a bad name for matchups, for bad fighters, for easy fights. So we wanted to showcase these young, talented fighters in competitive matchups. So as an example, Joshua Pagan, national champion, fighting a 9-0 fighter in his toughest fight of his career against Ronell Barnett. We have DeBell Smith from the Crown Boxing Gym, 5-0, fighting an opponent. Christian Woods, who's 4-0. Joseph Hicks, U.S. Olympic team captain, 6-0, taking a huge step in competition. First televised fight in the zone, fighting Antonio Todd. Antonio Todd was in Detroit last year, and he fought my fighter, Hugo Santana, who was raw rated at the time, and he scored an upset win. So he's a very good fighter, very experienced. Big step up for Joseph Hicks. In the co-main event, we have Adriel Holmes versus Wendy Toussaint, also a very competitive fight. So this is really a great show. These guys are not big names yet, but I believe that they're on their way, and all of them are going to get tested on Saturday night.
You told me earlier that DeVell Smith, people are calling him the next Tommy Hearns.
Well, he grew up in the Crunk Boxing Gym. He's a tall...
All right, so like I was saying, Dimitri Salita has put on a good boxing card with upcoming prospect-like talent. We've seen some of the likes of them on Showbox. The Zone has also tried to put together a prospect of the year kind of card. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Undercard and boxing for all fight updates. hit the Cash App if you feel I'm worthy of receiving a Cash App. It's floating across the screen, Undercard Boxing. Thank you so much just for stopping by. So we are talking the fight card that will be taking place today. I'm going to tell you the time, the location, and where you can watch. So you have, you have Clarissa Shields versus Cordejo. She's ranked #1 in the WBC. So if Clarissa Shields had originally went and fought Hannah Gabriels, her mandatory was going to be Cordejo. So initially what she's doing is getting the mandatory out of the way, which allows her then to, in her next fight, take a voluntary or, move up or down in weight class, something that she's done many times. So this fight card starts at 8 p.m. on DAZN. For all the people that have the DAZN app, I know DAZN has been very up and down in their pricing, but they have been putting on some good fight cards, some competitive fights, some fights where you don't know the outcome. Last weekend wasn't one of those events, but if you have DAZN and you're paying for it, you want to see them put on quality fights. When you have a fight with Undisputed on the line and not necessarily know the outcome, everyone feels that the GOAT will do what GOATs do, which is continue to win, continue to be successful, continue to reign supreme over all the other women boxers. But you have someone who short notice, so maybe the preparation is not what it's supposed to be. She's bigger. She's kind of the same size as Savannah Marshall. So maybe when she rehydrates, her weight or how heavy she is becomes a factor, with Clarissa being the shorter fighter. We'll see. But it is an interesting fight because the outcome is not yet on top of your brain. You don't exactly know what is going to happen. And I think that's what you love about boxing, the unknown. We don't want to see fights being made where the decision, or in our mind's eye, we can tell. Now, of course, everyone has their opinion about how things will play out, but it's different when you have to tune in, where you have to sit down, where you have to, all right, well, let's see what's going to happen in this fight and go from there moving forward, because that allows other people to come to the sport. That allows people to get on to find their favorite fighters. It allows people to, I didn't really like boxing, but after watching this fight and seeing how this played out, I'm very interested in boxing. So I'm happy the state of boxing as it currently is sitting. Huge fight cards are being announced. We have a July packed with cards. And we also have Undisputed. We have Undisputed being made between Bud and Spence. We have Fulton Inoue going to Japan to defend his unified title. The state of boxing is in a great place, and I'm just happy each and every day that I get to talk about a sport that I love, boxing, that we get to, build on it. We get to talk about it. We get to, go and hear different people's opinion about what will take place into the fight. No fight is a complete, I'm allowed to respect someone's opinion if they can be respectful of mine. So if you respect the opinion that I have and how I feel a fight will take place, then I will salute you for your opinion, how you think a fight will take place. And the best part about that is if we can do that and we can just stand in the middle, have our conversation, and just respect one another and move forward, then boxing and the people who are supporting boxing will be better off, because we're not, getting so caught up in you being right or me being wrong to not see that we're getting what we want, which is an enjoyable fight, and a fight that we don't necessarily know the full outcome of yet. And that's what you want for boxing. You want people to come to boxing knowing, hey, what's going on here? Who's this guy? What's going on? Oh, well, guy is so-and-so, and he's so-and-so. Damn, Golden Boy has a fight card. BT Sports, Don King Promotion, Showtime, DAZN, Fight TV, DAZN, ESPN, Sky Sports, No Limits. There was some news that Tim Tszyu got bit by a dog, and there was a possibility that he might not be able to make his fight versus Carlos Ocampo for June 17th. But the injury that he suffered was not threatening. He did have some stitches. He will be able to make that fight card. And this is a fight card from Australia, but just listen to who's on the undercard. You have Sam Goodman versus Rahis Halim for the IBF Junior Featherweight title eliminator. You have Liam Woods versus Edgar Ramirez, 10-round super featherweight. You have Justin Frost versus Hassan Hamad, 10-round super lightweight. You have Hazel Hemp versus Troy Plischer, 8-round heavyweight. You have Vargas Larfield versus Jarrell Gustin. You have Liam Taville versus Justin Jackson, 5-round heavyweight. You can't say, like, this is a cross promotion. You have No Limit, pay-per-view, and Showtime. And this will be from Australia. So there will be a time difference. So what time is this going? This will be 9 p.m. But it'll be one day earlier because this fight card will be taking place in Australia. You also have Adams versus Williams, June 24th. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but there's so many fight cards going on. There's so much to be interested in. You have Carlos Adams versus Julian Williams for Adams WBC interim middleweight title. You have Erickson Lubin versus Luis Areres, junior middleweight. Read an article in Boxing Scene that Erickson Lubin is looking to avenge his 2 losses from Charlo and Fundora, but still wants to fight Fundora in a rematch, even though he lost to Carlos Mendoza. What would be a great fight is Carlos Mendoza versus the winner of Lubin, because I know that everyone kind of wants a shot at the undisputed title, Jermell Charlo, hopefully returning at the end of the year. He's trying to return from a broken hand. Jermall Charlo should be making a return. I would love to see both Charlo brothers back to back on a card. One is the main event, one is the co-main. I have a feeling, and this is not verified by anyone, but I feel like we're going to get Charlo versus Boo Boo this year. Maybe closer towards the end of the year, or maybe right as the summer is about to end. But thank you so much, Marcel Verham Todos. Participate the live. How do you participate in the live? As a matter of fact, let me see. Maybe I can drop my link. Oh, I believe that's what you're asking. Copy. 1 second. I also thank you for stopping by the live. So if you click that link, then you can come up to the chat and we can talk. You also have the highly anticipated return of Berlanga, June 24th, at the Hulu Theater in Madison Square Garden. Berlanga has stated that there's a possibility that after this fight, that he will get the Canelo fight. I'm excited for that. Click the link, Laura, if you can. Click the link, come on up, Skills. If anyone's in the back, click the link. We're going to talk boxing. Oh, there also was a postponement for Smith versus Eubanks. Liam Smith, it's Liam, right? Liam Smith has suffered a hand injury, and it hasn't healed it up with enough time to make the July 1st fight. So Eubanks will be postponed, but they're going to go ahead with the fight card, which will be pretty much the main fight will be Franchon Cruz-Dezurn versus Savannah Marshall for another undisputed fight. You also have Natasha Jones with an opponent to be named. She has the WBC, the WBO, and the IBF Women Junior Middleweight title. Whoa. Guess she's one away from undisputed. You also have Mark Heffron versus Zach Cliffy, and you have Ben Whitaker. Whitaker's been making a lot of... click the link, Laura, if you can. See this link from StreamYard? if you click this link, this will allow you to come up onto the channel, and then we can talk directly. And thank you for everyone for stopping by. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Undercard Unboxing, breaking down the fights, giving fight updates, how I see this fight playing out. I wish we could watch some. Let me see. Let's go look at her record. Just Do Boxing. Salute, salute, family. What's up? What's up? Clarissa Shields. What's going on? Mike Kirkland, big bro. What's up, man? How you guys feeling today? Is that a blue nose pit? Mike Kirkland? What kind of dog is that? So we're going to look up her opponent's record. We kind of know what the GOAT has done, who she's fought, if you're paying attention. Fastest woman to ever become undisputed. So Corjano has 5 losses. Let me see, has she ever been knocked out? She's never been knocked out. She has 6 KOs. She's on a 3-fight winning streak, 2 by UD, 1 by TKO. What up, Just Do? Thank you guys for popping up. Let's see. So she lost to Franchon Cruz by unanimous decision. She lost to what's going on? Wait, she lost to Franchon Cruz twice? Oh wow, yeah, she lost a majority decision, I guess. Then wow, Franchon fought her when she was young. When she was 3-1, she fought Franchon Cruz. She lost a majority decision, and then she rematched her after winning the fight and lost a unanimous decision. So, you know, oh man, is Kelsey Reese ever going to return to boxing? I know she's acting now, and now she don't want to come back to boxing. That's all right. She's doing her thing. Oh, she lost to Christina Hammer. Baracus. All right. So we're going over what you call it, Marcela Corjano's record. She's 6th. My good game breed dogs. Hold on. Don't have no blue nose. Got you. Yeah, I thought it was red or blue. I don't know. It's a beautiful dog though. Beautiful dog, Mike Kirkland. How you doing this morning, man? Just hit the link, man. Come on up. If you can. It's early in the morning. I know everyone's probably doing something. Does anyone speak Spanish? I need a translator in the chat. I have the beautiful Laura here with me. She's writing in Spanish in the things. I don't know how to translate it. Maybe I should try to go over the YouTube and see if that helps. So yeah, I think Clarissa Shields can get the stoppage in this fight versus Corjano. She's never been stopped, or maybe a knockdown. I think she doesn't necessarily need a stoppage, but maybe a knockdown. Wow, she only has 14 fights. I think that just makes what she's doing just that much more impressive. She's undisputed 3 times in 2 divisions. She has 13 fights. She's went up 3 different times and became a 3-division champion. Like, let me look at Alexander Usyk's record real quick. Akello Netter, salute. What's good, G? How you doing? Morning. Who has a better record or a better resume? Alexander Usyk or Clarissa Shields? Because he got like similar about like a small amount of fights. He was undisputed at cruiserweight. He's unified at heavyweight. He has 20 fights, 13 KOs. We're going to have to put a lot of respect on this guy when it's all said and done. And he's got a fight coming up versus Daniel Du Bois. Forgot the date. Was it in August? August 24th? Let me see if there's anything. There's nothing posted as of yet. But it looks like he will be defending his belt versus mandatory challenger Daniel Du Bois. Let's see what's this next one. Oh, my bad. Closed it. Estonio aquí asisto a live. Is anyone? Can I get a translator to the front? Anyone? Help? Hold on. Someone. Help. Thank you, Laura. My Espanol is not as good. But I thank you for stopping by the live. I've seen you comment in a lot of on my channel about the things I've posted. So I know you're you're a supporter of me, and I thank you so much. So there's 2 fight cards today, guys. You got one on YouTube from Germany, which is just probably a good something to have in the background. Comes on at 12 o'clock. You could probably turn on YouTube, tell you exactly where to watch, just as YouTube TV. It's a 4-fight card. There's no belts on the line. There's a WBC International Silver Super Middleweight title. Excuse me. That starts at 12 o'clock from Germany, so you can probably just turn on YouTube, look for it. Just put in Leon Bunn versus Rossman Ishbrahim, and that should pop up in your YouTube, or you can just have it on 12 o'clock. The Clarissa Shields versus Cordejo starts at 8 p.m. from Detroit, Michigan, Little Caesars Arena. This is on DAZN, so if you have your DAZN subscription, finally getting to put it to some good use. The promotion for this fight has been garbage. They have not been any. They have not done the necessary. Opulent LD, what's up? All right, bro, let's talk some basketball, man. What's up? What's up, Opulent? What's going on? How you doing? The promotion for this fight has not been where it needs to be. Once the opponent got pulled out, maybe the promotion lost a little bit of steam, but they could have kept the momentum going by airing the press conference, by putting it on at a time where we, the boxing fans, could witness it, to listen to some of the trash talk. All you're seeing now is something happens, and then you get a clip after the fact of what's taking place. Let me put my camera on real quick. Denver and 4 Opulence. I'm calling it now. Put that down. What you call it? Yeah, so the state of boxing is in a great place. June, I don't know which is the bigger month of boxing, June or July. I guess it's what you like, but boxing is in a great place. We just got the announcements of Boots versus Roman Villa in Atlantic City. Undercard has not yet to be named, but I probably will be at that event from Jersey, so that's about an hour and 30 down the turnpike to get there. Definitely going to support my guy. It's beautiful that he put it in Atlantic City, so that way the tri-state area can also attend, and then the people from Philly can also attend. And it's not too both great month of boxing. Absolutely. And I'm not sure, but I'm going to say it. People are not going to give it, but Tank Davis started off the year, January 7th. He put on a very good fight card. He had Boots, he had Boo Boo, he had Rashidi Ellis. Fights were competitive. The outcome yeah, they did her wrong. She's a legend. She deserves better. You know what I think, Akello? I think it's because it's on DAZN. Like, if you notice when Sky Sports or BT Sports, hello, my stuff right there. When the other networks have on Clarissa Shields, it seems to get a little bit more pop. But DAZN, they're like just pushing out fights now. They're really not giving the necessary love to a fighter like Clarissa Shields. Thank you, Just Do Boxing. Salute to you, bro. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, she deserves way more. But so I was just going over the schedule in July 8th, Boots, July 15th, Frank Martin. There's a rumor that there's a July 22nd card. July 25th, you have Cool Boy Steph versus Inoue. July 29th, you have Spence versus Bud. And that's just that's in a 4-week. Oh, man. I'm going to have to get a second job. I'm going to have to start doing Uber. I'm gonna have to start doing something extra because I'm gonna pay for all these fights. I'm gonna be at all these events. That's back-to-back punches in the pocket. Hopefully, Boots is on regular showtime, but I probably will be in the building though. I'm probably gonna pull up. You have Bumgarner versus the girl that beat her. You have Firestick. Nah, we only Firestick in the zone fights. Mike Kirkland. Nah. See, if it messes up at the best part, I'ma cry. Think about it. Watching it, it's going smooth, and then you gotta, man, what's going on? Then you come back and somebody laying on the floor. Come on. That just defeats it. You also have Stanionis versus Ortiz July 8th. You have Big Baby Anderson headlining his own show July 1st. You have Frenchon Cruz versus Savannah Marshall July 1st. Like, damn. And now they have added to the schedule. Better Be versus Smith August 9th in Canada. So Lisa, I'm not sure if you guys heard the rumor, but Michael Benson, a reliable source for boxing, has stated that Bivol and his management are not accepting the terms for a rematch because Canelo's team want to offer him the same amount of money and the same type of deal. And he's like, well, I beat you. And being that I won, I have the belt at my weight class. I should be getting a lot more for this fight. Why would I go into the negotiations and get the same thing I got when I was the B side? He's the A side, right? He's the winner. So there's salute just through boxing. There's a chance that we don't get Bivol versus Canelo because he's not taking the terms in which they're being negotiated. We also have heard or seen or have gotten good reports that David Benavidez's team has sent Eddie Reynoso, the manager and trainer of Canelo Alvarez, an offer for $50 million to fight David Benavidez in September. Now, I know that a lot of people are excited about that fight, but didn't we have already locked in or already penciled in David Morrell versus David Benavidez in September? I thought that fight was signed, sealed, and delivered. I guess maybe what they're doing is they're testing to see what Canelo will do and if he takes the fight, because obviously there's a lot more money in that fight and it would be for undisputed. But to my knowledge, I thought David Morrell was supposed to fight David Benavidez in September. I don't know if Canelo's date, but sometime in September, which I think is just as good of a fight. This is two guys. One is a former world champion. One, you can say is a champion because he does have that WBA interim title. And that's the belt that carries the mandatory. Every person that he's fight has to be in the top 10 of the WBA rankings. And that's David Morrell. And I think that'd be a good fight. There would be a belt on the line. You have David Benavidez with his 4 interim belts. And you have David Morrell with his WBA regular belt. And I think that would be a good fight. I think that fight you can even put on pay-per-view because they're considering themselves the top 2 in the division. Belts would be on the line. The build-up would be good. One has been calling out the other. And I like that they're sending Canelo an offer, but we all know how Canelo has moved through this phase of his boxing career. Any fight that he potentially... Let me check the words before I say them. I don't know if he takes this fight because even though the money is great, I think he no longer... Thomas Hill, salute. Thanks for pulling up. I don't think he takes this fight. I wanted to phrase it differently, but I just don't think that he cares about $50 million. He's made that a bunch of times already. There's nothing about the David Benavidez fights that would intrigue him enough to step up and step into the ring with him to make the fight possible. He doesn't care about what others feel about his legacy. He feels he's built his legacy enough on what he's already done. See, we want him to give us the fights we want, to show us that he still is great. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Young boys. That's why you guys are all my OGs. That's why, you know what I mean? When I say salute to you guys and call you OGs, this is the reason. I'm a young boy. Young boy. He doesn't care about the 50 million. He wants only fights that define his career and that he can say are legacy fights. He'll say that he went from 150 to 160 to 168. And actually, he's a 4 division champion because he got a belt at 175 when he beat Kovalev. So he feels that he's already cemented his legacy, and the fights in which he's taken on now have nothing to do with how he's going to be viewed. You can't take away that he's a 4 division champion. You can't take away that he was undisputed at 168, a glamour division. Canelo feels as if I'm already a Hall of Famer. I'm already great. I now can pick and choose the fights that I want. And if it doesn't, if it's not another career defining legacy fight, I'm not going to take it. Now, we see them as legacy fights, but necessarily his team and who he's promoted by might not see it that way, because another loss puts another chink in his armor, which says, yeah, he was great, but there were times where he stepped up and he fell short. So how great was he if, when you look back at his record and you say, okay, he lost here. Now, of course, we'll debate about why he lost, what happened, or his fans will, but we just want to see him take quality fights so that we can judge him and say, not only was he great, but he took the fights we wanted to see as fans, and we gave him the ultimate support and respect, win, lose, or draw. It's not like he's protecting his oath. What he's protecting is how great he is. And he doesn't want to not be looked at as one of the greats when it comes to the likes of Floyd, Chavez. I don't know. I'm not inside the salute. Oh, wrong way. Salute to the Rise podcast. Always like and subscribe. Yeah. So I'm drop the link in the chat again. Feel free to come up. We talking boxing. We talking breaking news. We talking upcoming events. So I at first thought that it was confirmed that Anthony Joshua was fighting the likes of Dillian White in August, but he's came out and spoke up and said that's an absolute lie, and to stop putting words into his mouth, which is hilarious, because I feel as if it's his promoter. It's his promoter who feels like is leaking this information. But it seems as if he has some stuff going on brewing. I know we all saw the fallout between, Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia, and the fact that Ryan is kind of locked in to his agreement with Golden Boy, and that no matter what he says, how he feels, or what's going on currently, he is stuck to that promotional agreement. So, I would try to fight my way out that contract. I would try to buy my way out. The way that the display, how it's getting heated between Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia, doesn't seem conducive for his mental health, which is something that he's dealt with in the past. If you don't feel like you're being supported by your team, the best thing you can do for yourself is to get up out of there. Where would you go? I think he can remove himself from the Golden Boy, but I think Matchroom and DAZN, Eddie Hearn, would be the ideal place for Ryan Garcia. He's already a star. He already has cachet. You put the zone once again with Ryan Garcia, like as his own promoter or as a co-promoter with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. I think that would be great for his. I think that would be great for his brand. I think that he can grow. I think that sky's the limit for Ryan Garcia. He's now with a new coach. They're once again pushing the Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao fight, which I can't believe that we're even discussing that. Like, that was one of the worst moments in Ryan Garcia's history. Why would you bring that up for the boxing public to remember that we spent literally 2.5 months asking ourselves if Ryan was going to fight Manny Pacquiao, to the point where Manny threatened to sue Ryan if he continued with stating that that fight was in fact going to happen. A lot of boxing news. I really enjoy Twitter, only because the updates come in just as fast. They get discussed over there as well. Not everything is, 100% guaranteed, but once the source is reliable, you can kind of say, okay, I like that idea. Or like once you can check one place for the source and then you can verify it somewhere else, then you can fully confirm like, okay, someone's not just tweeting to tweet, they're actually tweeting because they have the right information and they're releasing it on Twitter for us to see. And, whether you go and report it to yourself as the next fact or you just hold on to it until it officially becomes available. Solid information is always being released on Twitter. Oh wow, Jojo Diaz urges Oscar De La Hoya to make Ryan Garcia fight at any weight. Been a long time coming. See, I told you. There was also a fight card yesterday on Marv Nation. Marv Nation was the network that put on Regis Prograde versus Jose Ramirez for the WBC title. They were back yesterday with a fight card. I wasn't given any information about it, so I didn't post about it, but I saw it on LDub TV, another great platform. He has his own website as well, where you can be updated with fights, with boxing news, with potential fights, with sanctionings, with rankings, with things that are coming out. LDub, great channel. Please like and subscribe to that one as well. Thank you all for popping up with me this morning. We're going from 8 to 9. We're supporting boxing. You don't think that it could be an attempt by De La Hoya to cause a little mischief in life and career, disgruntled relation. So we've seen that, Thomas Hill. We've seen that Oscar De La Hoya and Gervonta Davis has had that kind of back and forth. Like, I pay attention to a lot of things. Like, they've had what you call disgruntled behaviors, and what it's done is grow the profile of Gervonta Davis. Is he leaving Floyd? Like, the questions, are you done with Floyd? Are you, you and Tank are beefing. Like, you've seen that beefing with your promoter has helped grow the life of Gervonta Davis. Maybe they're following suit. Like, if you notice, Spence and Bud, they're going to do 2 promotions in New York and LA. Where did we see that? We saw it with Ryan and Tank. Oscar De La Hoya is smart. We're gonna have to wait this one out and see how it plays out. Now you have to look at the agreement with Ryan and Oscar De La Hoya. How many fights is he under contract for? Is it a lifetime thing? Does he not know, who represents him? Maybe he needs to get a better lawyer. But there's definitely going to be fights over for Ryan over at Golden Boy, especially at 140. A lot of names that he can fight. They can go out and spend the money and bring guys in to get Ryan's confidence up. the state of boxing is just in a really phenomenal place, and I want to give the thanks to Tank Davis for starting off the year with one hit after another, making one of the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, and the numbers prove that. And because of that, the trickle down and the added effect is a lot of other fights being made, not just in Las Vegas and in New York, but globally. You have Cool Boy going to Japan. He could have stated, "Yeah, listen, I'm the belt holder, I'm the champion. I want you to come here and we can fight for my two belts." No, instead he's going to Japan. Will we look at that and say that was a mistake? We'll see. All right, that's a fact. A big dynamic between someone that is loved in the De La Hoya versus a person that is telecast as a heel, someone that is viewed in the negative light. We shall see. It's my man. Yeah, listen. If like, think about it. If Ryan with no belt, no cachet, no actual, like, not a real like, he wasn't a gold medalist. He doesn't have those shiny things that we all want to look at. But if you can now have the relationship between Ryan and Oscar being at odds, when they go to a press conference, Oscar's not there, or Ryan's there by himself, and everyone's kind of feeling sad or bad for Ryan Garcia. It helps grow him. Well, Ryan should get out of there. Ryan should do these things. Ryan should step away from. But then he gets the fight. People are tuning in. Ticket sales are going up. He's now selling out larger venues because people want to support him. People want to, be an advocate for Ryan Garcia, this disgruntled star who's been put in a bad situation. And then boom, before you know it, he's he's made himself a big enough star where he leaves. And because I believe with the Gervonta Davis and Ryan's fight, he had his promotional company up there. I think it was called Ryan. Let me see. Let me double check that. Let me double check them things, see if they facts. One moment. Ryan versus Tank. Promoters. Yeah, I think like Ryan had his own promotional company the day of the fight. That was, when they put up the banner that hold on. I know where to look. One moment. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, here we go. So you had Tom Brown Promotion, Golden Boy Promotions. Says GTD. I thought Ryan might have had his own promotional company as well. The one with the King Rye. Yeah, I think I see it here. Yeah, but Thomas Hill, let me bring you up, my G. What's up?
Hey, good morning to you, my man, Jeff. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, good morning, brother.
Oh, you got a good morning indeed, man. Many blessings to you, fam.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank you.
Talk to me.
I just wanted to say a couple of things, man, because I think that, like, right now, especially like you were saying before you pulled it up, because of Tank, and then immediately the fight between Devin.
Uh-huh.
That's a big juxtaposition. And I'm not about to down Devin. I'm about to say that, the movement that this next fight that's about to make will verify what Tank and Ryan fight did and show that this is the new wave in boxing. Don't matter which side of the quote unquote, what side of the street you're on, the big fights are there to be made. And if you make them, if you commit to them and you guys get behind a solid team, you can do big numbers. I mean, to be totally honest, take a look at what Tank and Ryan did. Reported anywhere between 1.2 and 1.4 million.
Absolutely.
That's just in pay-per-view eyes. The gate, astronomical. Floor side seats going at 50,000 a pop.
Yeah, it's 22 million. I just saw
22 million, right? Okay, so look that. Juxtapose it by a fight that got all the major implications involved in between Devin Haney, the undisputed champion, and Lomachenko, somebody who has been a driving force for the promotion company that they're under the top rank. And it didn't do so well.
Right.
It's in-house. Then you follow it up with another cross-promotion fight in this Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight. These numbers right here, what it's about to do, will verify what tanking them. It's going to be in the same ballpark, if not even more. I think it won't be more, but it just may be more. And what that will do is signal to everybody, because truth be told, the amount of money that Ryan made outperformed the amount of money that the whole Devin Haney and Loma fight produced in total, just on Ryan's half. So like people will look at that and be like, "Yo, man, I want this fight. Let's do what we got to do to make this fight."
Well, it also will verify to the point that most people are making that black fighters don't sell. That's been the common, and I've actually heard it from like casual boxing fans. Two black fighters. I was like, what? What did you say? And then once you start asking them questions, you realize they're just repeating things that they've heard, just going through the motions of just listening without understanding. Like, it's not that they don't sell. They're just, when numbers are produced, they don't give them that same cachet that they do other fighters. Like it's important for us to pay attention or to give credit when things are happening. And what happens is what everyone wants to do is just bash. If it doesn't do 1.2, everyone will say, "See, I told you," but it did 950. It did 800. But if it didn't do a million, they'd say it didn't do a million. So therefore, where's the respectability in these two fighters? And you're like, those are still the top two fighters in the entire world. Like, let's look at that for a second. Because Ryan and Tank wasn't the two best fighters. They were just the two guys with the biggest names in the division.
Yeah. And we know how names generate too, but you're right about that. That was going to lead me into my second point about them being two black fighters. But now, if we look over time, there have been some many bouts where it's been black fighters, and they done popped in the million pay-per-view cycles too.
Absolutely.
And I mean, can't nobody. I mean, I don't even know if they were doing the numbers back then, but Muhammad Ali, he fought a lot of black fighters. Man, he had a lot of people watch him. Whether you want to watch him to lose or whether you want to watch him to win, you're tuning in. And that was the thing with Mayweather. See that Mayweather dynamic with Tank is big because people are really looking at Tank in the vein that they looked at Mayweather, because until recently,
I think I lost you there for a second. Go ahead. All right.
I'm sorry.
You cutting in and out. Oh, sorry. You cutting in and out. You good? You good? I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No, you good, brother. You good. I just wanted to make sure that, because sometimes you start and then you cut and then I keep hearing the other part. But go ahead, keep going, bro. I'm listening.
Yeah. What I was trying to say was that the dynamic between Mayweather and Tank juxtaposed to Ryan and Oscar De La Hoya. There are two fighters looked in different views, and I think it's because like Mayweather was looked at somebody that was a villain or somebody that people really tuned in because they wanted him to lose.
Right.
And I see that falling upon Tank with his association with Mayweather, whereas like King Ryan and Oscar De La Hoya, that's the golden boy. That's the good guy image, and people
Mhm.
love him. I just thought it was interesting at the end of his statement and their back and forth on media. And I talked about this on Just Dude's platform too. Is that he said no love lost. I think that's telling. When you look at what he did, he went and got rid of all the people that's responsible for his training and what
Mhm.
in his direction there in the ring, and he went over to Derek James. I think that might follow suit, given those last telling stuff, because you don't if you're responsible for my career, you don't take the social networks to air out dirty laundry.
True.
You come to me as a fighter, as my promoter, and you say, "Look, yo, I don't agree with what we're doing, and we can sit down and talk about this." But when you do stuff like Oscar did, man, that really shows you have no respect for me as a fighter, but more importantly as a person, because I would do that to you. Now I know he does dangle this thing with Pacquiao, and I'm not sure that's serious. I don't even believe they're close to the same division, so that means he would have to go up and fight Pacquiao, correct?
Yeah, I think Pacquiao's probably at 147 if he can make the weight. But he's a smaller dude, so there's a chance he can make 140. But I, listen, I don't. Manny out of retirement is just a bad look for boxing. But I want to
Yeah.
cook on something else. So Mike Kirkland said I missed the good fight parties that Mayweather fights would bring. Absolutely, a lot of people miss that too, man. Because whenever he would have a fight, it would be an event where people would come together. People who wanted to see him win, people who wanted to see him lose. Um, so I kind of just threw into my Google real quick the top selling pay-per-views of all time, and Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, black
Hmm.
versus black. Okay, cool. Mike Tyson versus Vander Holyfield.
Hmm.
Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely.
Hmm.
Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
Uh,
Yeah. So the notion that it doesn't is just it's just one day they're just gonna keep pushing up on us unless we start pushing back with actual facts and data and just say, nah, it might have been the case in the past, but that's not how it is now.
and to piggyback off of that, I think that's the reason why we get the backlash that we have with Tank, and I just use Tank and Devin right now.
Hmm.
Remember Devin? He's highly skilled. This, and that. He fights Lomachenko. Now he ain't got no skills. Nah, this, and that. Tank, all he got is power. He ain't got no skills. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? I think it's only because of the image. We do what we got to do to subdue these people. We can't let them think that they're better than what they are. And when we do push them and they let us down, see, we just treat them like we should have treated them in the beginning, and
Hmm.
that's not cool. That's not fair. I mean, Lomachenko's a great fighter. He is a great fighter, even though he is a little more advanced in his career. He's still a great fighter, and it was truly a 50-50 fight. So, it was going to be a struggle for Devin in one way or the other. Now,
Yeah, I think his talking points kind of turned a lot of people off. See, if he gave Loma his credit and built up Loma as this great fighter and then defeated him, we would have all called him a great conqueror. What he did was said, man, you ain't beat nobody. Every guy you beat was small. He diminished Loma so then when you get the win, it's looked at with an asterisk because you already told us he's not as great as we thought he was. So instead of us rewarding you for the victory, we are now questioning you because you told us you were going to do many different things. I'm going to dominate Loma. I'm going to retire Loma. Loma looks so revived. Loma looks like he's going to be a player in this division moving forward after the Haney fight, as opposed to the opposite, where we thought this was Loma's last fight at lightweight, and that he would be like, all right, I'm done with boxing. I tried my hardest. This guy beat the crap out of me, and I'm done with boxing. Salute to hopefully I make the Hall of Fame. But Loma now is pretty much the man with the cachet that he took the young, stronger, bigger kid the distance and almost beat him.
Yeah, I agree. Also, what do you think about? I'm sorry, I don't mean to switch
Nah,
switch gears
jump.
like that, but I was interested in your take on the Hannah Gabriel situation with
Clarissa
Clarissa
Shields.
Shields, and her statement that she came out and said, I forgot. I forgot whose platform it was on.
Ari Howard, MMA, where
Yeah,
she was putting dog cream on her dog, and the cream on her dog got her to test positive for the substance that was in her blood. Well, I mean, uh, the excuses are becoming more profound and more baffling. I heard Amir Khan say that he tested positive from shaking hands. You had Connor Ben with the boiled eggs. Uh, what I suggest is if you do something wrong, the best way to get ahead of it is to admit that you did the wrong. I made a mistake. Um, you know, this trying to make excuses for us, the boxing public, to understand. Like, maybe we need doctors to come and explain to us how rubbing a cream on an animal would get into your bloodstream that quickly to allow you to test positive. Or let's get the cream. Let's cut it open. Let's find out the ingredients. Was she ingesting it? Like, how does it get into your bloodstream? I know it can get
yeah.
onto your hands,
Mhm.
and maybe what she did, she touched the valves with her hands, and then it became positive. Because okay, let's redo your blood. It shouldn't be in your blood if it was on your hands.
Yeah,
Plus I'm crazy.
no, I agree, but there was that incident where Bernard touched Tank, and they was like, "Hey, you can't touch him.
Yes,
You could have some substance on you that he can
yes,
pop
that he can put
dirty."
on. Yes, correct.
So I'm not, like you said. I think there needs to be someone to explain things like that so that they could say that dispel it or affirm it. And then she
Yes,
came on somebody else's platform and she did a whole diatribe about, like, yo, I would not treat. I worked hard for this, and I'm not going to let you tear me down. I'm going to fight to prove my innocence, and I'm going to come back, and then, we are going to get in that ring, and I'm going to settle it. I'm not a washed out 40-something-year-old fighter. I'm not half the fighter that I used to be, and all of this. So, it was pretty interesting, her take. She seemed very
adamant.
genuine with it, yeah,
Yes.
and
I
adamant.
mean,
So I don't know. I don't know.
listen, I was really looking forward to the Hannah Gabriel's rematch because of what took place in the first fight.
Exactly.
Hannah Gabriel's is pretty much, she's a legend already because she's been in the game for such a long time. She hasn't dominated. She doesn't get the cachet because she's not fighting on big platforms. She's like promoted herself, and she's bounced around, taken fights, won fights. Like they're smaller venues, they're smaller promotional companies, but she's done most of these things on her own. So
Mhm.
I give her the utmost respect for that.
Yeah,
And what I want to do is not cast doubt on to Hannah Gabriel's, but let the doctors or let
yeah,
someone at
flow.
VADA or WADA come out. Like, we all want to get ahead of it or to give the reason. Let the doctors tell us and explain how it's possible. But the thing is, in our mind's eye, the stain will always be there, and it's hard to, like, once you've tested positive or you claim, like Puyo, great example. Puyo for the WBA has a medical note that states that he was in the hospital, and that's when he was given what was found in his system. He literally has the paperwork to show, to prove that I didn't. This is not something that I did myself. But how are we looking at Puyo? We're calling him a drug cheat. We're saying that he had to pull out of one of the biggest fights in boxing. He could have been the one to fight Rolly. Didn't Barry Bonds use some type of cream steroid? Ooh, like Kirkland. I don't know. I thought his
Well,
head
that's
was
what they
always
said.
that big.
They said he was using the clear or some stuff like that, and it was supposed. It was. And guess who it was by? It was by Victor Conti.
Yeah,
Victor Conti was this guy. He was
facts.
putting this
Brock
stuff
Howard, good
on.
morning. Yeah, facts, Mike. HGH. Up, see Brock Howard with the facts. Yup, morning. HGH, right? It was in the cream form. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Oh, Thomas, you've typing in the private chat, not the regular chat.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just telling you, so I'm the only one that can see that. But yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you good, brother. You good.
I don't know how these
Cream
things
and
work.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, cream and clear. So, I don't know. I hope so, man, because I really want to see that match. Only for the fact, like you said, she did it the hard way. Like she did it on herself, not with the engine of a major promotion and things like that. And she went out in the ring and she fought the same way. Like, truth be told, man, like that happened between them, that was a razor thin fight. I could
Between
see how
her and Hannah. Yeah.
yeah, you could see how you could even lean towards Gabriel's because Gabriel's appeared to hit her with the cleaner, more effective punches. She looked like she pushed her on the fight the whole way. She dictated it. I mean, defense wasn't at a premium because both of them getting
Yeah,
hit.
it
So,
was bombs away that fight. I remember that fight. It was
that
just they was just throwing, and I thought somebody was gonna hit the other person hard enough where
too,
it
yeah.
had been another knockdown, or like someone was gonna hit the canvas, and that was gonna be the deciding factor. But salute to she dropped it to absolutely in the first round. I mean that was, and that's why I love that fight because when I started watching the build up, like she was up here and Clarissa was down here, and they kind of met in the middle just to make the fight happen because Clarissa was having a hard time finding opponents. So she kind of like wanted to chase greatness and said, okay, this girl that's above me, they said that she can beat me. Let's see if we can come into the middle and fight her. So, just, things like that happen. Man, I don't want to cast doubt, but let's hopefully she can clear her name. We won't
Hopefully.
forget, but you know, I would love to see a rematch. And
Okay.
based on how this performance goes at Little Caesars, she sells
Oh,
it out. If it's a great performance, then I want to see it right there again. Go ahead.
well, I honestly, I kind of see the same blueprint that they did for Shakur to build him up to so that they can market him like that. I think that going into the people who are working with her or going into her city, you know,
Yeah.
building up the community, getting the community's interest in it so that they can come out and show out because they are trying to make her a big time man. And speaking to that fight, I could see why because in that fight she went through all kinds of adversity. She got put on her butt, and she got
Mhm.
up and she came and she grind. She bit down on her teeth. She went at it and fought what
Absolutely.
might not have been her best fight to fight against this girl just to pull it out. I mean, it was a tough fight. It was a grind fight.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why we call when we say Clarissa's great, we're not saying that because she's one round KO in every opponent that stepped in the ring. No, like the fact that she's going the rounds, she's putting these punches together, she never wavers. Like that's a testament to her skill set, to her development, to who she is as a boxer, where she doesn't take the 10th round off. She doesn't assume that I've been dominant from 1 to 9. You know what? Let me just cruise here. No, she beats you from pillar to post every fight. Do we want to
Yeah,
see more exciting knockouts? Do we want to see people hurt laying on the canvas? Absolutely. Like when she fought Christina Hammer, how many times would you have thrown in that towel and stopped that fight? She was beating that girl up.
yeah, she
Punch,
was.
punch, punch. Like her head. Boop, 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 boop.
Honestly,
I'm like, God
I
damn.
thought that the corner should have because there was no point in that time where that fighter was going to beat her. They should have stopped that fight. That's
Thank you.
their fighter. So I don't think that people should just take unnecessary punishment
Punishment.
because they tough.
Mikey.
Sometimes when they getting hit like that, you don't know the reverberating effects later on down the line. You stop that because we ain't got a chance. She's not touching her clean. There ain't no chance. She ain't got no one punch knockout power, so she might not be able to pull this off with one punch. And she's taking a barrage of punches. So no, we got to stop this. So you're right about that. And she has excellent skill set. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some fights that she can make that will be really big for women's boxing.
Talk to me.
Shadeja Green, I think that'll be a big one. Franchon Cruz Dezern, I think that
Rematch.
would be a big one. Yeah, that would be a great fight right there. That's Shadeja Green. Now, I think somebody's touching the canvas in that one because Shadeja feel like she being disrespected. So you know how that goes.
Who you got in the
But
Marshall versus Franchon Cruz?
I want to, man. I say this. It's tough because it's over there. Over there, you know how it can go. And I was shocked, honestly. I was shocked that they unanimously gave it to Clarissa. Yeah, because she was getting away with some, like, she would come in there and bump her with the shoulder and then throw some punches. That girl she fights like an Irishman. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you could see it as like, hey, she's dictating the face. But I mean, Clarissa boxed her tail off up in there, and like she definitely won that fight. I didn't think it was as close as people said it was. It definitely wasn't no robbery. Some people was calling it a robbery. I don't understand that. It's like I didn't really call the lumber fight a robbery.
Right.
I did think that if we're judging by the criteria, that I thought one fighter definitely did more than the other two hit most of those criteria. But Clarissa clearly did. She took her fight, brought her fight to her.
Yeah. And I think what happened was the combination punching as opposed to one punch. That has to be judged for something else. Like if you hit me with one and I hit you with four, you might have landed the cleaner one, but my four also still landed on you, which means it's 4-3. I mean
You're right.
It's 3-1.
You're right. Hey, but like I was looking at somebody who was going for Marshall. They had a feed because they were there live, and they were around everybody, and he was like, "Man, this girl's fast. She's clean. She's precise." No, I'm serious, man. He was like, "Man, I don't know what fight y'all watching. What I'm looking at is this girl hitting her with some hard punches, some fast punches. She's putting together like photo, like you said, photo one. It's like it's not even close." And he was saying he was going for Savannah Marshall. So I take that and said, man, she really went out there and showed her tail, and she told her, "I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna beat you," and she went out there and delivered. That's like LeBron they put all that hype on LeBron, and he came in there and he delivered. No matter how you feel about him, he done delivered on everything that they had said. She spoke on what she was gonna do and delivered. And she's not a knockout fighter, but she be putting them punches together though.
Yeah,
I think that's Savannah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So her fight with Savannah Marshall felt like it was a great game plan for what's her name, Chantel Cameroon versus Katie Taylor. I wanted to bet. I was like, man, let me find some money so I could put on Chantel Cameroon, because when Chantel Cameroon beat Jessica McCaskill and made her look old in that fight, and kind of like she McCaskill would try to bob and weave and throw her one, and she would. I said, damn, that girl got some skill. She got some attached to the punches. So when she went out and did her thing and beat, the great Katie Taylor, I said, yeah, I knew she would. Oh, come on, Ken, you ain't know. I said, I did. You got to rewatch her old fights first.
Yeah, you right about that. And on top of that, she was fighting for her belts too, at her weight. It was gonna be a tough task for her. And honestly, man, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I thought she lost that fight to Serrano.
What?
I thought she lost that fight to Serrano. I thought that Serrano definitely hit her with the cleaner, harder punches. I think she even.
Serrano. No, you're right. I'm sorry. You right. I did too. She had her out on her feet a few times. Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, standing game counts need to be a thing in women boxing, which I don't know why it's not, because That's
Yeah,
how
dude, that's a good point.
that's how Alicia got her knockout. The girl was standing on her feet, but you knew she was out of there. Like I've seen
Yeah.
Cage just standing like, yo, 1, 2, 3. What do you mean? Standing 8 count. You didn't get knocked down, but you're
But you
clearly
out.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out on your feet.
You at a point where you can't defend yourself, and it could get bad.
Thank you.
You right about that. So to go back with the Cameroon has agreed to fight her at her weight
Her weight, yeah, she'll go down and fight her for her belts. Yeah,
and for
I
her
don't,
belt.
I don't think Eddie makes that fight though.
I don't think so either.
Nah, he loves a rematch clause too. Every fighter, just know if you're getting one, you're getting two.
Yeah, no, if she's fighting, I think she's fighting for them belts up there because that's the marketing right now. Well, she dared to be great. She went up there and fought somebody that was bigger than her. They didn't give that to Serrano, and Serrano actually won. In my opinion, she won, and I don't think it was
she won
even.
in New York.
Yeah, I don't think it was even close, to tell you the truth. But she got the decision. It sets up for a big, big mega fight if they were to replay. And I like how they group all the players together on the women's card. It's building up that buzz.
Yeah, we also got Amanda Serrano versus Heather Hardy on August 9th on the Jake Paul's card, where he fights Nate Diaz.
And that's supposed to be a rematch. Am I correct? Or
no? Heather Hardy. We gotta check. I got you. Amanda Serrano. I love the interweb. Interweb is great. Thomas Hill, thanks for coming up and chopping it up with me, bro.
Yeah, man. I apologize for taking so much time, huh?
Nah, bro. Yo, you good? Listen, Heather Hardy. Let me see if she fought her already. Yeah, she did. She won by UD when she was 22-0. God damn.
Yeah, so
she beat up all her unified belts. Yeah, and Madison Square Garden as well.
Yeah, well, Serrano is a card. She's a draw. Yes. Serrano, like honestly, I think she is the draw of women's boxing. I think people relate to her because she leaves everything in the ring.
And her style, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that fight with Taylor, man. I honestly thought that was fight of the year. I'm not gonna hold you, man. That fight was just action packed from open and bell. And it had ebb and flow because old girl did bite down and she started throwing and coming back. However, if it would have been longer round, she would have got knocked out, man. So
if she only has 2 losses, Katie Taylor and Vidal Wild-Blair. Nah. Put Katie in the Hall of Fame and get her up out of here. Katie, you good. One more fight and that's it. You 34. You an 8 division champion. Come on. Yo, she literally has all the belts. She has WBO, IBF, WBA, WBC. She even has the IBO belt, bro. She got everything. Like, when you say I have all the belts in the division, I have all the belts. Even the ones that y'all, all of them. I got everything. 5 belts.
They making up belts, giving it to her. like, yo, she's been a great fighter, though. I mean, I cannot deny that. In amateurs, in the pros, man, she delivers, and she's a draw. She's a huge draw, especially about that. And then the last thing I wanted to speak on, man, the state of boxing going forward, man. We got possibility of some people agreeing to terms in principle to make fights. They said that Joshua was agreeing to fight Wilder. I don't really believe that because
it's gonna happen. It's already in the works. December is the place, Saudi Arabia. That's it's not done, but what they want to both do is get a fight in the interim, get a 1 fight here, 1 fight on the other side, and then December, that's the place to be, Saudi Arabia, to put that thing together.
Close out the year of fireworks.
Yes. We also have confirmed Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, August 26th.
Okay.
Independence Day for Ukraine. So that fight will be taking place. And, he wants to fight Fury as well. You get the fight in August. Then, of course, if Usyk wants to make Undisputed, then that can also happen in December or the later year, end of the year.
See, the thing with Fury, I don't think Fury fights him. And I'm going to say it for this reason. You
Can't
know,
cheat.
unfortunately for Deontay Wilder, you know, he can afford to do certain things and get away with it because Wilder not the technician as a boxer. He got
Yes.
that heavy, he got that one hitter quitter.
Hmm.
And your boy Usyk, he is expert with the skills, man. And I don't think you could just easily cheat him as you could and get away with it with Wilder. And I honestly, and I hate to say that, man, because I don't like labeling nobody cheap, but that man cheated Wilder so many times, bro. It's ridiculous. I mean, the
I know,
glove situation.
and that's why we keep the receipts, man. That's the reason why we keep the receipts and stuff to make sure we hold these guys accountable. I mean, it's not just Wilder. Like we've got confirmation that he cheats. So it's like when we say
Yeah.
it and people get crazy, it's like if you don't want to find like the information is here, and you don't want to read it. What you want me to do, bro?
The brother that trained with him said, man,
Yes.
this nigga freaky over here using these featherweight gloves. Like, man,
Mm-hmm.
it's like he over here hitting me with bare knuckles and whatnot, man. You know, it's crazy, man. You know, so it's kind of hard because when Wilder fights evenly, if it's organic, you going to sleep. I'm sorry. So man, Joshua, I don't care what kind of training he get, he about to go night night. If he
Hey,
in that
listen.
room, oh, man, but
If you're
he
giving
might.
this man 20, 30 million and go to sleep and retire and walk off into the sunset, I think he'll take it in a heartbeat.
Oh, he
Like he said,
taking it.
I fight for money.
He taking.
So,
He taking.
Thomas Hill, thank you for spending the
Man,
half an hour with me, man. Great conversations. Thank you for stopping through. So so what I try to do is put up the live so that way people can know that it's going to be early. But as I was looking for it on YouTube, I didn't really see it. So what I'm gonna do is when I'm going live, I'm gonna post it in my community post because that pops up, and then I'm gonna just leave the live like 1 day or 2 days so that way people know where I'm gonna be on like I like to do early morning Saturday. So
okay.
I'm probably gonna jump off, go pick up the wife, and
Hey
I'm probably
man,
gonna be on for none.
hey
So thank
man,
you,
I'm about
blessings,
to
bro.
hop on for 9 too, man. I'm gonna see you there, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate the platform. I'm gonna support you, man. You're a good brother, man. Definitely go handle your day with your wife, man. Make sure everything's good that way. See you over there on for 9, man.
Peace and blessings, brother. Thank you.
Always.
All right, so I'm gonna hit y'all with the outro.
Sunday Showcase, made possible by a public service grant from the National Endowment for the Arts and Bristol Myers Company in association with its divisions.
Yeah. All rise, open your eyes, no need to explain. I got a homie from the east and I'ma tell you his name. Never hang around lames, that's a part of his game. And if you show deep respect, he'll show you the same. Jeff undercard boxing, shook the world when he came. A lot of cats is playing, but his hands are insane. You can get steamrolled if you stand in the way. He a yardie from Flatbush, you cowards his cat puss. We used to feud like Bishop and Q, but he'll fuck you up quick if I give him the cue. From the city of Midwood, the south central part of New York, next to Bensonhurst and Borough Park. If it's a problem, don't even say shit. Just face this when you come across the Bay Bridge. No tolerance for BS or fake kids. Your blood clot crying. Just stop trying. Is Jeff Undercard prepared for the assignment? He bringing a appliance so cowards can't fight it. He might yoke you up if he feels slighted. He's spreading out toxins. It's undercard boxing. Yeah. Mad love and respect to my brother, man. From the motherland, word him up.
Sunday Showcase, made possible by a public service grant from the National Endowment for the Arts and Bristol Myers Company in association with its divisions.
Yeah. All rise, open your eyes, no need to explain. I got a homie from the east and I'ma tell you his name. Never hang around lames, that's a part of his game. And if you show deep respect, he'll show you the same. Jeff undercard boxing, shook the world when he came. A lot of cats is playing, but his hands are insane. You can get steamrolled if you stand in the way. He a yardie from Flatbush, you cowards is cat puss. We used to feud like Bishop and Q, but he